everybody. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome back to another weird, zany, fun, crazy, take your pick. We're going to have some fun tonight, but welcome in, everybody, to Florida Park Explorers Travel. I am your Hoth host and Disney Cruise Line learning partner, the Bear Shark. Tonight, as always, joined with me is the Master. He is known as Yoda, JJ, and so many other things in the DCL community. Welcome in, everybody. Jordan's Disney Adventure.
Well, we don't know if there's any sound issues just yet there, Andy, so please stand by.
I hear an echo.
I don't hear nothing.
No, I don't. What did you just click off?
I didn't do nothing.
You're busted. We're on the Lido, baby. We're getting ready to go, except we're going to Hoth. Woo!
And then I've got...
Oh, Mickey. Hi, Mickey. I'll have him. We have a good show for you guys tonight. Let's stop and say hello to everybody first and foremost. Kathleen, Monorail, Steve, Andy, Explorer, Jen. I wonder where she is. The Samuel B12 Experience, who has a show at 8 o'clock. Don't forget to go over after this one and jump into Sammy's show. AAU, what's happening, Jackie? Hello, everybody. Welcome in, JT. And everybody, thanks for coming in and supporting the channel. We appreciate you. Some weird things going on in Disney news. We're going to get the bad stuff out of the way first. Good evening, Justin. So that we can move on to the fun stuff. But there's been some really crazy crap happening in the Disneyverse in the last 24 hours. So, Michael, what's happening? So I'm going to get the sad thing out of the way right off the bat. So if you have kids in the room or this or that, this one's a little sensitive. I probably wouldn't be like, hey, everybody, come rush to the TV and watch this. So you've been fairly warned. This morning at Bailey Towers, right, connected to the Contemporary, apparently there was a guest accident. They're not prepared to call it self-termination just yet. However, at about 5:12 this morning, guests decided that they would hop off the balcony. Apparently, guest services were calling the rooms in the front of Bay Lake at 7:30, saying that there was a medical emergency and asked guests not to go out on their balconies. So shortly thereafter, a tent was erected, and they obviously are investigating. But it's never good news to hear that. But it's there's kind of a trend. I mean, kind of shifting gears. There was on Carnival Cruise 2 days ago. There was another guest who decided 95 miles off of Melbourne that he was going to also hop off a boat. Like some weird stuff going on. Andy, actually in 2020, a guest actually jumped from the Contemporary on the fourth. I think it was the fourth platform down. So yeah, there's been some weirdness that's gone on. So I wanted to kind of get past that because we're going to be doing Disney news. We're going to be doing, and we hear everything living on property. So I wanted to make sure that, you guys aren't like, well, you guys don't talk about anything. So we wanted to make sure we did that. And then to start the cruising off with, because we have tons of cruise stuff to go over tonight. Should almost change it to cruise talk. So Disney, on a weird note, they posted a $325 million loss on the Disney Cruise Line. So I thought that was substantial. And they don't tell you on which boats were hit the worst. The report doesn't break that down. I was very curious to see if is that why they're switching so many itineraries? We'll get into that. And then the other thing is if you're going to Australia, now we have Australians that come in the chat, so this is relevant. The Disney Wonder is making a 13-day trek down there from the Hawaiian Islands, and Disney wanted to make sure that all travel agents and everybody who were booking made sure that they got it out there. The COVID protocols are still in effect down in Australia when you're cruising. So if you're booking the Disney Wonder out of Australia, make sure you've got your PCR test within 2 days, you got masks, you're ready to deal with COVID protocols down there. So if you're watching this from Australia, or if you're traveling to Australia and you've seen this, COVID protocols are still in effect on DCL. So make sure that you're following the protocols. If you have any questions, contact your travel agent or Disney directly. Wow, I almost sounded like I knew what I was talking about.
You actually did a fantastic job.
Yeah, like I almost seem like I know what I'm doing. So even though half my body's cut off, but that's all right. Now the other half's cut off. I'm too big
Yeah.
for the screen. So anyway, so there we go. We got through all the nasty stuff. Now it's to some of the fun things. Um, wait, one more negative thing. Who else didn't like going to Coronado today? Raise your hand.
I got some cool merch, but still
I
liked
got a
it.
magnet. I mean, that was a good day. Like I
Yeah.
got a cool magnet for my fridge. So you know what? I take that back. I enjoyed myself. But yeah, it's not my favorite resort. Jen's picking another one. We're hoping for, we got to do them all. So whether it's a good, bad, or ugly resort, we're going to do them all, including we may start doing Universal resorts. Why? I think we're probably going to start doing Universal.
No way.
Just saying. So Jen got a rock.
I'm kind of afraid what she might use that rock for.
As long as it's not to bash my head in, life is good. So yeah, Sarah, it's not my, as much as I like the resort and I think it's visually pleasing. I have such a bad taste in my mouth, and I've heard so many people, even in the chat today and since, I would never go back. And let me tell you something. As an agent, I'd push you towards other properties. I think, I don't know, but it is brand new and it is beautiful and it has all the features and creature comforts, and if you're looking for it, it's a great resort. I just no. Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown reference. Anyone? Jen, it's hot out. So anyway, uh yeah, and to everybody who did, and Christine actually just put that in. To everybody who came out last night and supported this channel, incredibly, you guys always do. It is amazing to watch how supportive you guys are of FPE and how much you guys are involved. And specifically to Laura and to Christine, who actually went specifically to trying to get us our passes. Thank you guys. And to everybody who shopped. We were able last night to pay for Jen's down payment and Bella's. So, wow, is all I can really say to that. I mean, it was crazy. And the best part is we're going back Friday to hit the store we never made it to. And in my opinion, we never really finished the first store. So we're going to wind up doing both. But we're going to start over at Legends and then go back over, or Legacy, or whatever it's called. I don't know, because I've only been there twice. So there. And then we'll go over to the other one.
You are the legend, Dave. It's Legacy.
I'm a legend in my own mind. So anyway, but we're going to be back there on Friday, and she's got his Legacy. Everybody knows but me. So we're going to go and we're going to hit that again Friday with a potential surprise for all of you. Be nice if we could do that. And I will say this. We need you guys to get started on treasure boxes if you're thinking about doing them for the holidays. I know it's 3,000 degrees and you actually walk outside and burst into flames. But we have limited space this year on availability for treasure boxes. We can't do it all in a week. Last year, we did not have 1/10 of the amount of people who are buying merch that are buying it this year. So if you guys are interested in giving away Parks Merch Treat wrapped with so you know whose is what, so that they're labeled. We will actually go and buy it from the park, wrap it, and send it to your doorstep. Or we can send it directly to them. So let us know. In which case, if we do send it to them, we don't send an invoice. Just so you know, we're not the most insensitive people on earth. But anyway. Jordan.
Yes, sir.
I got through the first 11 minutes and I'm done. Now, for the remainder of the show, I'm going to sit back and relax. Matter of fact, if you guys hear this noise right about here, that'll tell you if you got one, crack it open. Mine happens to be ginger ale. And it's a green screen, so I could have told you it was literally anything, and you guys would never.
Cheers.
See? Wait, it says ginger and Publix. So you know that it was ginger. It's ginger beer.
It's a ginger Mickey.
So we're going to be doing all those things. But how the heck are you? You had a
Not
good
too
week.
bad.
You had a good week so far.
Monday morning kind of was sucked into yesterday.
But you got good news.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Jordan's tests all came back clear. We're progressing, and he is ahead of schedule so far, which we don't want to say out loud because we'll jinx it. So with that, we're going to knock on wood. And all right, my husband drinks ginger beer. Good for him. That's a great. Yeah, there he goes, right there. Boop. Mine's ginger ale. I'm totally lying.
Is that straight ginger ale or is that like a special kind of ginger
You
ale?
just heard me open it.
Well, it could be a special kind though.
Publix is not that inventive.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah. So, and JT said best news of the week, and everybody's saying yay. Big Matt, what's happening? Welcome in. So, Disney cruise stuff going on. Disney anything going on. What kind of updates do you have for us? Because I know that there's some, but not a ton. And then we'll kind of pass it back and forth. And then I want to get into some of the DCL negative report. That $325 million is a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a big chunk of change. And on that one there, we may as well start with that since we kind of ended.
Oh, let's go there.
Yeah, may as well. I don't think the ships have been at full capacity, and they're losing on that revenue.
So I'm interested because as a business owner, I like to see they're not going to show me the books and be like, "Hey, here it is." I would love to know how they're claiming the loss because it's post-COVID. The losses are, matter of fact, trying to see if I can pull up the story that I was reading, but $325 million loss. And the thing is, so it says Disney has revealed that its cruise line is still stuck in troubled waters of the pandemic last year, and as it made $325.8 million net loss. It's a big loss. The second worst result in 26-year history. That's pretty substantial. So, the real question I have is, and they don't go into a lot of detail, but which itineraries aren't doing well? What are you doing? Are we counting Lighthouse Point? Are we counting new ships? Or what are we talking about? Because you say capacity, I can tell you, having been on, and you and I were on the Wish, that was almost at capacity. It wasn't, I'm not sure every room was sold, but that boat was packed. And when we went on the Magic, we were just about at capacity because if you remember, I was trying to switch rooms the week before, and they told me we couldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
don't
when I
know.
was on the Wish, no, the Wish last November, 3,000 people on the boat, and its capacity is 4. So I mean that's a big hit when you have 1,000 bodies that aren't on there, and you're looking at what $1,500 a person, two thousand
Well,
bucks a person, roughly.
doesn't this go down to what you and I were talking about the other day when I said last minute cruise deals are gone?
Yeah, and they're gone.
So why would Disney sail with a boat where they could get $2,000 for a room that would normally sell for 4 if you wanted to grab a last minute deal? That doesn't make any sense to me. Don't you love these stupid tags?
Yeah, I figured you would have taken that off by now.
I just got the hat like 5 minutes before we came on, so I didn't have time to cut it because somebody forgot to do a bunch of stuff today. It feels like I got a rat tail for like the back of my head.
Yeah.
What's up, Gigi?
Even when I was on the Fantasy as well too last year, it wasn't even, again, 4,200 is its capacity, and I think we were sitting at 3,500.
So are
It
you
was quite.
saying? So what you're saying is that the losses that they're stating are last year's fiscal rolling into this one, saying, "Hey, look, they were losing money last year." That I could buy.
That would be my taking, and they're finally releasing their numbers. But again, even leading into this year as well too, where the ship's at full capacity, no, they weren't. Ours was pretty full, yeah. But
So now, according to this, because I was trying to read while you were talking. According to financial statements that were recently filed, Disney Cruise Line revenue rose more than 11-fold in the year to October 1st, 2022. Although demand began to return, it was still far from the pre-pandemic high when the cruise line had an annual revenue of 1.6 billion. That's huge. So you're going to lose net $3.25 million. Well, that's taking you to 1.275.
Yeah. Or is it because who can we blame? Somebody on our cruise that broke the ship?
Well, I think it
And
was
now you're
Michael.
looking at, right? But now you're looking at now DCL's paying extra fees now for us staying in there overnight, whatever that cost may associate to.
And the
Then you're
boat.
looking at, yeah, the repairs to the ship as well too. They brought engineers in from Germany with the parts to fix the ship.
Yeah.
So I mean, at the end of the day, it all has that expense, and probably, with them giving us onboard credit as well too for our cruise. Again, still at however many staterooms we have, 1,234, I think it is, or somewhere around there on the Wish per stateroom. That adds up, right? So all those little things will start adding up and adding up and adding up, and they couldn't take advantage of us even buying merchandise at Castaway.
All good points.
That's because I'm SMRT.
Anyway, so I mean, everything you're saying is good points. Plus, you have ships that go out of service, that go into dry dock. So it sounds like they're ticking back up. So I have a feeling that this is 2022 numbers when we're in 2023. Fiscal hasn't ended yet anyway. This is going to annoy me to no end. And there we go. Now it's on top of my bald head. By the way, I love this hat.
So actually, Sarah actually just put in the chat there that so the loss was for October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022.
So there's your fiscal year. So it was during post-pandemic. It wasn't very clear in the article I was reading, so that's why when I just read it, it said October 2022. So that would be October 1st. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like, so obviously maybe things are turning back around for Disney, and it's just, a late filing on on an article on a report from a year ago's numbers. But again, kind of telling. Disney is very quick usually to say, "Hey, look, we bounced back." And also Jessica's got a great. This is also a great point. So we appreciate that chat feedback. That's the point. They did have cap limits when COVID started back up, and they were one of the last, if I remember correctly, to release the COVID protocol. They're still doing COVID protocol down in Australia, as we talked about earlier. So if I remember the numbers, yes, if that was the numbers prior to 2022, I believe there was. Yeah, and that's exactly it, JT. So it's looking like it's an older number, but even if they took that hit for the 325 while they were still battling the parks and everything else, it's kind of understandable. I think a lot of times when we're consumers and we're at the park, and I know we're guilty of this all the time. I'm always like, where's a cast member? There's a lot of times pre-COVID, you would walk down the street and you would get towards the hub, and there would be two on either side almost staggered all the way down, and then there was a grouping right in front of the hub. And they were basically in the park concierge people. They could tell you where anything was. They're not there anymore. So it's kind of weird. But maybe what's finally happening is the adjustment has taken place. Maybe they're back on the mend. Maybe things are on the up and up. I'll have to wait for some quarterlies to find out. But did you notice, and I think that this is the thing I'm most curious about, you traveled last year, this year, and pre-COVID. Any differences that you saw that were noticeable?
Well, when I was on the Disney Wish, the vaccine mandate was still in place, or you had to provide a PCR test, a negative PCR test that you could only get within 48 hours before cruising. Right, so we still had to do the Safe Passage website, upload all of our documents to get approved first. Did we have to wear a mask? No, we didn't. And that was when I was on the Wish. Now on the Fantasy, they had dropped the vaccine mandates for that cruise. So you didn't have to be fully vaxxed to get on the cruise. You could just get on. So again, and I think during the COVID, when they started getting back up again, they were only running at 20% capacity of what the ship was able to.
So that's a lot of it right there.
Yeah. So it's huge, huge losses. And then certain ports, and even I'm guessing as well too with the Wonder with Australia, if you have a certain percentage of people that might be positive, guests that are positive on the cruise, they don't let you come into port.
Right.
They will ask for those numbers ahead of time, and they will make sure that they have those details. And if you have, I think it's above 3% of the cruise. If it's like 3% or higher, then they will not let you come into port.
All right, so I gotta be the guy who brings a little humor to this because I don't know how else to do it. But at the time, I didn't realize when I'm watching the news and they're like, "Oh, the cruise ship's out there for weeks and weeks and weeks," right? So the first day we were on the Wish, what was the only complaint that I had on the first day? Do you remember?
You wanted food fast enough.
No, I got that as soon as I walked on the boat. Had to do with my stateroom, if you remember, and I still complain
Yes.
about it to this day.
Yeah.
It is the size of the toilet. Okay, like first of all, it's not even a closet. It's not even big enough to be called a closet, and they put a bucket in the room. So I started to the first day. I was like, "Wait a minute, could you imagine having COVID and being at sea and like you're stuck out for like weeks?" I'm like, I would be miserable. I'd be miserable. I mean, it was literally the first thought I had. I was like, no, like that couldn't happen. So I couldn't even imagine having like norovirus or anything out there. I would be like, this is the most miserable thing in the world. I might actually contemplate, hopping off the boat. Probably better off. But kidding. It was a joke. Was kidding. Getting in so much trouble for that later.
And Sarah's comment's true as well.
Yeah, Jordan was like, I don't want to be near these people. I'm going to they don't know anything. I'm going back there. See you later.
Just forget about them.
They were like, Dave can't walk. Let's move to the other end of the boat. So anyway.
Yeah. And during COVID, they actually had sections of the ship that were designated for if you tested positive on the ship or you started showing signs of COVID, like symptoms. They actually would move you from your room away from everybody else, and they move you to their quarantine area.
So you're saying I shouldn't make a shirt that mocks that and wear it on a cruise ship? Yeah, I think that's what you're saying. Because JT just
I heard nothing, and I see
JT
nothing.
Just said that my joke was too soon. But the problem is now that I'm I'm very interested in cruising and everything else. I do watch a lot of the cruising channels to get my news, and this happens a lot. I hate to tell everybody this, but like, I don't think it makes the news nearly as much as it actually happens. So I guess that joke is too soon every week. Like, I don't know. But anyway, so you're saying definitely don't make like a COVID shirt that makes fun of it.
Probably not.
All right.
Yeah.
Stick
Although
to
I do like
T-Rex
I like. Yes. I do like AAU's comment though.
After my
I'm still waiting for mine though.
I got to tell you though, after the last go round with White Castle, I'm pretty sure I lost that battle. I came back like half a man. I'm gonna tell you right now. I went to war at the castle. I'm just not sure I won that war. So it's gonna be a while until I dip my toe back in the belly bomb land because that was it was. Let me tell you this: there were 12 still in the freezer like a week later. Yeah, right. Like I think everybody in the chat just gasped. I heard an audible gasp. I was like, "What?
What's wrong with this man?"
Wait, what did he say? There was still. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Mike, that is not true. I have gone to war with White Castle many a times and won. Many a times. I'm wondering if the key to White Castle is to not fight White Castle belly bombs with alcohol, because I'm convinced that on those nights, little Crown never hurts anybody, cleans up the grease, thins it out. Maybe, I don't know, but I can tell you right now, the last go round, that was bad. Anyway, back to
That's why
travel.
you need to. That's why you need to drink absolute vanilla vodka with Pepsi.
Or ginger ale.
Good
Nami
talk.
Num. Nami, I haven't forgotten about you. I just haven't actually stopped yet. So, do 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 do
And
do.
drop the
Hey, I'd love to tell you that. Yeah, I thought alcohol was a prerequisite. It was until like we're like this family unit that goes to the parks, and then when we leave the parks, there's nothing open but White Castle, and it's like I'm starving, and hey, let's go there. That sounds like a good idea because we know how good they are. And then you're on your way home and you eat like two or three as you're driving, and by the time you get to the house, you're like, I don't feel good. I was like, I don't feel well. I had three on the way to the house, and I was like, I'm dead. I'm like done. So it was bad. So I think drinking and driving would be frowned upon. So I guess I can't like do that. And with belly bombs, I'd have to wait till I got home. Um, I got nothing. Oh, hey, you're killing me, dude.
No,
So
I remember Patrick ordered White Castle last year when we got to our Pop Century late because everything was closed,
yeah,
and that boy was hungry, so he Uber Eats White Castle. Now, mind you, Pop Century took care of the cost, which was
I don't
fantastic.
I don't want to know why. You have some weird relationship with Disney no one else has. It's like you have dirt on them. So
I got
he
nothing.
actually has Walt. Never. Nope. Nope. No.
No,
Bad David.
no,
Bad David.
bad Dave, bad Dave.
So, how did you know what? Wasn't he sick the next day? Because I remember you guys. He wasn't feeling well. He had the shakes. He was in bed.
No, that was the Monday when we got off the cruise. He slept. He slept while I did laundry.
All right, I'll buy that because they kind of blended together. I was kind of like wait a minute. I remember him shaking in bed. Heidi is a new member. Welcome in, new member. Heidi down there just killing it as well. We are so appreciative of all the awesome people who have become a part of Team FPE, and as we grow and as we do this stuff, um, such such an amazing group of positive people all doing the same thing. I love this. It's amazing to me. But anyway, I think I could probably do an entire show on White Castle. But back to cruising,
Yes,
because I don't think Disney's going to allow a White Castle on their cruise ship. That will
probably not.
probably create a norovirus. I didn't say that. I did not say that. It was all Jordan's fault.
How is it my fault when you said it? It's this is recorded, so we approve.
No, no, no. Jonathan made me say it.
Oh,
Um,
Jonathan Chong's fault.
yeah, it's totally Jonathan's fault. So anyway, so back to over to cruises and things like that, because then we're gonna push over to FP meetup stuff for just a second. Um, so we got a good handle on it as to what's probably going on. I was on last night looking at cruises, and something that I noticed, something that we've talked about in the past, and I saw the itinerary, and I had to tell you, um, it was the Disney Dream doing Lighthouse to Castaway back to Lighthouse with 2 days at sea on a 5 day, 5 night trip.
Yes, and what did I start doing after you told me that?
Drinking?
Pricing out flights.
Yeah, that too. Well, that was for. Well, I never know what you're pricing out for because I'm always looking at cruises. So, and I'm like, hey, what about this one? You're like, flights are this. And I'm like, how did you know that? Like, it's like you're omnipotent between flights and Disney. It's like, okay. So it's there's really cool itineraries coming. Like we were talking about, I don't know if it was last week or before. Um, but if they drop Nassau, how much more excited we would be.
Phantasmically excited.
Are you kidding me? As a matter of fact, it's funny you should say that because I have a question for you.
Answer.
Wouldn't it be great if they did what MSC is doing? Because MSC, like, I'm getting ready to book an MSC, all right, to go to their island. It's a 3-night cruise. It goes to their island, it stays overnight, and you have one day at sea. I now have seen a video from that island. Their entire lighthouse is LED, and the music's pumping. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and the party, and like that island is rocking. Why does Disney not have a nighttime show on the island? Stay overnight because they could get everybody on the boat by midnight and still make it to the other island by morning with no problem.
Easy. It's a hop, skip in the park.
So they should
Well,
have it on both islands. They should have nighttime shows like Phantasmic. Maybe not Phantasmic, but you get my point. They should
yeah.
have everybody off the boat, have people in a place where you could have a lot of fun and sit down and do, a nighttime show. A water show would be cool. And it would be great because you
It's
can
not,
see it
it's not
from
like they don't have a big beach.
uh, they also have a boat where if you didn't want to get off, you'd still be able to see it.
Yeah. Or they also have a runway.
I don't know that I want them to bring water to the runway. No, I'm just kidding. But to your point, though, so I'm going to say this. We have cavalcades in the park. We have parades in the park. Why are there none on their islands?
Why not some Dapper Dans on the island?
Why not Dapper Dance? Why not the Caribbean Pete's? We could create a backstory. I'll do it right now. Why do we not have take the harmonious taco barges down there? You know what, Mike? I actually think that's a bad idea. I don't want you to screw up my Bahamas. But appreciate your thought. I think they should go to Animal Kingdom. So it's one of those things where it's like I would love to see something be like that's done that way. I think it would be really cool. You would have people that could line, the different decks and the different parts of the boat. If you got kids or whatever, you can still take part in it. If it's late at night, it's too late. You can still watch it from the boat. Everybody else would still be on the islands. I think that would be cool. They could do a water pageant, just like they do at Magic Kingdom, which would be cool. I think that they could do that during the day, to be perfectly honest with you, as long as it wasn't a bunch of fins in the water, which would be hilarious. But right? But how great would it be? Like, Castaway probably better than most everybody in here. But that trek that goes between Serenity Beach and that comes all the way to the front, they could run cavalcades.
Easy.
And you would hear the music and the characters who could walk down, and why not?
I got an idea for Pirates of the Caribbean.
Now you're going where I was about to go to next.
Nighttime on the beach, have pirate ships on both sides of the water. You could have a fight.
You could have Barbossa battle. You could have Barbossa battle Sparrow. You could have the British fleet. I don't care, but you went right where I was going.
See, great minds,
right? So I'm just saying, like, really, like, it would be incredible. You could, and by the way, I mean, the audio system on the boat matches the audio system on the island. They play simultaneous. They have the boat stuff going on. Boom, 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 boom. Psh. A 10-minute show. That's it. I'm not asking for like a 5-hour production. I think it would be epic. They could also do movies on the beach. They're not utilizing their islands enough. We just talked about a $325 million loss. Now, granted, it's not necessarily for this year. But these are things that would help expand, because you're kicking everybody off your island at 4:30. There's no dinner, there's no drinks, there's no anything. It's back on the boat, where, for the most part, everything is free. Offer upsells on your island. Get people to stay there. Just saying.
Could you imagine Jack or one of them going from having lines running from ship to ship, and they could just go with the swords in the air? And
Dude, I just did a Pirates night here in Orlando. If you didn't see that video, we live streamed it. Please check out this chat. I don't know if I did on this channel or Florida Park Explorers or both. But go
Both.
over. I think it's on both. Go check it out. It's the Pirates Center. That was a cool show. So what you're talking about, hands down. Now, Christine Hickman just dropped in. There's a new theme park opening 2026 in Oklahoma, which has gotten a little bit of traction. Former Imagineers, Disney employees, Universal, everybody kind of came together and they're making this park. The original plans look amazing. We'll probably do an entire show on it when I can get some more information, more than just a picture, some sketches, and things like that. But we're definitely going to be talking about it because it's smart in some regards, and I always go with the immediate holdback for me anytime in the middle of the country I hear about a major billion-dollar theme park is tornadoes. Here we get hurricanes. That's the first argument I always hear that comes back. But we're far enough inland where last year a hurricane went right over my house. It was a Cat 1, Cat 2. Did it do any damage? Not really. It's not the same thing. Now, a tornado could have cut touchdown from the hurricane and went right down Main Street, and that would have been the end of it. So it's not impossible. But the chances and likelihood are way less. So I'm very interested in it. I cannot wait to get more details from what I saw. I thought it was epic. And to be perfectly honest with you, I would go there, especially when we do our cross-country tour. Holiday Road.
You don't want to.
So it would be cool, but I don't know. But I would love to see DCL be a little bit more innovative, I guess was my point in that. I think that there's a lot of areas where it's not a lot of money to give us. The one thing I kept saying to you is I think Disney Cruise Line needed more Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
when you're on the island, do you feel like you're on a Disney island? I don't.
No, to be honest. I mean, you'll see a couple of characters when you're first heading down towards like the main beach, whatever, but that's really about it until you walk in to see merch and that sort of thing, or
Yeah.
when you see cast members in their uniform with their their crew member name tags and everything on.
Yeah.
That really, or if you're in the water and you see Mickey in the water. But realistically though, not so much.
So you're going to tell me Legoland can do a water show, but Disney can't with boats and jet skis? Am I really supposed to believe that? I'm going to go with no.
No.
So what I'm saying is there's a lot to be desired, especially with expanding the Lighthouse Point. You're giving me 2 islands. I'm really hoping we get a little bit more Disney theming. I mean, this year, I've read some of the reports on the MSC update because MSC is closing their island for, I think it's 6 weeks. It's 8. I think it's 6. And they're renovating the island. So they're prepared for it. They know what they're doing. And this is going to be a posh getaway. I'm really looking forward to working with this cruise line. I can't wait to go on the boat, give it a try, go on a couple of more with them, and then I want to see the island before and after. I'm trying to book a cruise for immediately after. I want to be one of the first people to go to the island just to see what are the upgrades, so that we can kind of report on it and tell everybody what it's like. But I mean, it's it'll be cool. I just think that you're a good judge of the Disney cruise lines, and that's why I wanted to see your opinion about the boats pre-COVID, post-COVID. Now, are you seeing them run leaner? It doesn't seem like there's not staff everywhere. The only thing that I would say was really weird to me is it's actually our background. Is the back of the Magic has no purpose, and like if you see that deck, that there's hey, they've shown it right now. There's no chairs. There's nowhere to sit. It's an empty back deck. Now, I know I'm sitting in front of a restaurant because that's where all the glass windows are. But there's nothing there. It's unutilized square footage on a cruise ship. That seems stupid to me.
Yeah, well, I find from when I was on the Wish and the Fantasy last November compared to when we were on in April, definitely April was far busier, 100% compared to when I was on last year.
Well, that makes sense. No protocols, no anything. So I think that we're probably on point with what's going on with Disney and everything else. I just like to see them do a little bit more Disney stuff, and it's not a critique because the boats are fun. I mean, anybody who knows, we're going on another one in 2.5 weeks. That'll be 3. I obviously like doing this, and enough to where we're designing a show about cruising. I'm developing the channel to include a lot of cruising, and most of our content that when we go live will be of us cruising. I really, really enjoy it. I think that there's a lot of upside to it. Plus, as you're becoming an agent, they like to incentivize you to go. So,
yeah. And for you
bon
booking your
voyage.
cruises, I've had absolutely nothing to do with influencing you to do that.
So what Jordan just said in Jordan E's or JJ speak was, I am directly to blame. Because I'll sit there and I'll find something and I'm looking for other people. And he's like, you should book that too.
And about that.
Yeah. So speaking of which, good segue. We are interested in your feedback. For those of you who are interested in cruising with FPE for the meetups, we had some questions because Jordan and I were sitting there and we're trying to plan the FPE meetup for April. And I found a Royal Caribbean cruise. It's on the Oasis of the Sea. But we found a Celebrity. We found an MSC. We found a bunch of them. So here are the questions that we'd like to know. And we can do a little chat poll right now. We're just kind of chit-chatting. You guys are here. Answer questions if you want to. If you're interested in going. If you're not coming, please don't put it in like you're like, hey, I'm going. Woohoo! I think we decided that the minimum is going to be 5 nights for a cruise.
Yes.
What is too long? Is it 5 nights, 6 nights, 7 nights, 8 nights, 9 nights?
180 days.
I'll go tomorrow. So if there's what do you think is too long? Like 5 nights, I think is good. 6 nights, 7 nights, 8 nights, 9 nights. Like where are we going too far with this? That you're not going to come. Am I lagging? I feel like I'm lagging.
You're swimming.
I was sharking. So that's the first question that we want you guys to answer. The second thing is Jordan and I were talking about if the cruise line, what was it, had an island, had their own private island?
Yes.
Jordan said if they have their own private island, the itinerary should go there. Do you agree with that? Oh, I love this. I feel like a game show host. Yeah. Or I could just go dead.
Yeah. Did you see Wilder's comment? That was about me not having any influence on you booking cruises.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So,
yeah.
So we're seeing 5 to 7, 5 to 6, 5 nights. 5.
Marie D, you don't have to ask your travel partner.
No,
you can just make your decision.
It's an opinion. Because the other side of it is when we do the treasure's 7 nights. It is what it is. We're going. But I'm talking about this is going to be either a Royal Caribbean, a Celebrity, or an MSC. So, and it's going to depend upon that because I have another question for you guys. 7 days. Okay, so we're maxing out at the 6 to 7 nights because JT put 7 days, so that would be 6 nights, 7 days. So that's a week. So we're right there. So we're talking about if we were to put in between 5 to 7, you guys would be okay with that. And a stop at their island, says Michael. So, yeah, is the private island a deal breaker? That's the question I want to know. And the other thing is we're definitely doing. I say definitely, and I got to back up from that. We're 95% chance doing an Eastern Caribbean for 2 reasons. The first reason is every cruise I've taken has gone Western, so we're going the other way. And then secondly, and it's actually more importantly, I do pay attention to travel advisories, and a couple of the ports have, right now, U.S. Department of Transportation saying don't go. So
Mhm.
why go that way? It's just easier to go to the other ones. Um, let's see. As long as it's not 5 nights. Thanks, Mike. Um, we'll only do Disney. You spoiled us. Kathleen, I thought the same thing. Um, I don't know. I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion over the up and coming months. We're going on Royal Caribbean. We're going on MSC. Um, I can tell you that with every one of them that I sign up for, I get more and more incentives. So, including at times they'll give me the ability to go. So, definitely doing it. No
Yeah.
icebergs. If you find an iceberg off the coast of the Bahamas, call me. I'm definitely interested in going out and taking a look at that.
Make sure
Um,
you actually record that as well and
right? I'm
send
gonna
it.
go viral
Yeah.
and not
See,
see. That's
yeah.
bad, Dave.
See, I got to go back to Kathleen's because I've only ever done Disney. So
And I got
Disney
him to
has
go.
Disney has spoiled me right to a T.
But has it?
From aside from hiccups I've had, yes, I'm not going to
But
deny those.
but all fairness, you have nothing to compare it to.
True.
So are you?
Well,
Do you know that you're being spoiled? Because I brought up some points even you couldn't argue with.
I think I was medicated at that time.
Yeah, you were medicated. It was called Captain Jack's medication. So I'm going to just point this out to everybody. And by the way, understand something. I've only been on 2 cruises, and they're both Disney. But the questions I have make me want to know. For instance, there's a threshold that I won't go over before just booking a Disney cruise, and it's a dollar amount. So you go to an area and you're looking at the itineraries, time versus boat versus this versus that. And if you get to a certain point where it's like, no, I'll just go on the Disney boat. But for all the other ones, like I was looking at Independence of the Sea, Oasis of the Sea, which just undertook a $165 million renovation a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So they got slides and they've got um, one of those escape rooms. They have laser tag. They have mini golf. There's a lot of things that would be exciting, especially with Bella, and also in the sense of the fact that if we're like, let's say we did a 7 day cruise, we're looking for an event every day for the FPE meetup to go do. So I think there's a benefit to that. Also stating the fact that I'm a night owl. Disney boats are done at 11 o'clock for the most part. I am looking for the ability as an adult to go have a drink at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm up all night. Like, I'd love to be able to do that. So there are some things where I sit there and go, does the cost, you can't go on multiple Disney cruises like every other day. But Royal Caribbean to Carnival to MSC, I mean, there's an MSC that we're looking at for our anniversary that's $286 a person. It's 4 nights. Okay, so yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Regarding everybody saying about the smaller rooms, I hate to be the guy that says this, but did you book a cruise to sit in your room? I didn't. I booked a cruise to be out on deck. I'm looking for the things to do. And I would say this to you: if you were going to plan to go away for 4 days and you were going to rent an oceanfront condo, would you just sit in there? No. So if you're going to go out and you're going to go do these things anyway, instead of going and paying $35 a person every time you went out to go do an event, they're all included. Um, there's a lot of advantages to it. So I just can't say that I would be in my room a lot. Being on the boat the last 2 times, the only times I was in that room, I was getting dressed or sleeping.
And room service.
That was right before I went to sleep. And I wonder why I have to do 5Ks on boats. So that might have to be like a new thing. Go on a boat, have to do a 5K.
Yeah.
But
We'll
you
see
know,
what JT said.
yeah,
My room's a party. It's a party room.
well, you have the party deck,
A
and
party deck. Yeah.
your balcony was incredible. So and Jessica, let me tell you something. I'm a relatively big dude. I mean, 6 foot, 285 pounds. I don't fit in my bathtub here at the house. So you make it cut down to the size of a shoebox. It's a nightmare. Like I hated taking a shower in there. So I get it. Yeah, not going on a zip line either. But there's so many things where we could do things as a group, and I'm thinking of the group as we're on the boat that I think would be a lot of fun. I think like FPE escape room, like if we had battle of the escape rooms, who could get out faster? I think that'd be fun.
Find the bear shark.
Dude, hide and go seek. I'm going to my room and locking the door. So I win. But like the mini golf, there's ice skating on board, there's ice shows on board. So there are so many things that were on these other boats. And Disney, when I stopped and I was like, all right, so what is there actually to do? Because Bella and I were looking for things on the Magic. We wound up playing shuffleboard, which lasted like a half an hour. They played shuffleboard on the Titanic, and you see what happened to that boat. So,
Oh, Dave.
but
We did talk about this one.
but all seriousness, it's like there's no mini golf on board. There's no, there's one water slide, two water slides. It's not. I mean, as much as they're family friendly, the Aquamouse had a 45-minute line to ride at once, so it's like going on any other ride at Disney. Except you're wet, standing in the heat, and they don't have fans. But that's a different story.
That's why it's always best to go on those like first thing when they open it, and or if it's a port day.
Yeah, well, that's what we did. So,
Yes.
And that's what we're going to do this time when everyone gets off for Nassau. Jen and Bella are just going to hit the boat, and I'm going to go walk around. They're going to go hit Aquamouse.
The Disney Fantasy has a mini putt on board. It's also got like Goofy Sports, which is like a basketball that sort of thing.
But I don't know anything about that, and that's why it's like, and that's why the boat matters, right? Mm-hmm. Like Oasis versus Mariner. Mariner doesn't have nearly what Oasis did because Oasis just got a $165 million upgrade. All of those things they all matter. So I guess the point is when you're going on a cruise, it's not just how many nights, it's not just the price. What are you getting for that price? And I'm really diving into these things, and I think I'm just trying to bring it to if nobody else learns from this, I'm learning. But I think a lot of people who've cruised in the past, my mom and I were talking about this the other day. Cruise ships have changed since she was going, and she was like, I didn't know they had that. I didn't know they had that. And it's like they're adding to it to make it really kind of awesome. So, in that sense, I think it matters. So basically what we've talked about is 5 to 7 nights. Doesn't matter. Jordan cares about the island. It doesn't seem like anybody else really does. Is itinerary important to you guys? Like let's say it was a 6-night cruise. Would it matter if you were going to only 3 islands as opposed to 4? Do you want more days at sea or more days in port? Which are the things that matter the most for you guys? Lose a ball in the ocean for mini golf. Andy, I thought the same thing. Like, I was like, wouldn't it just be great to just shoot it out the clown's mouth and it shoots out and it goes over the boat?
Add another cruise ship. I mean, sorry.
It would be like in Seinfeld when George goes, he goes, and I reached in the blowhole of the mighty beast. I pulled out this. Is it a Titleist? So, well, Jill, most of the time Nassau is included in almost all of them anyway. Or they bypass it and they hit their island. But Nassau, it may or may not be on the ticket just based on what it is. It's more for, there was an itinerary I looked at that was Bear Island, St. Thomas, and I think it was St. Martin. But
Mhm.
that was all it did. It didn't, and then you had 4 days at sea. So like that kind of mattered to us. And then I think the last but not least question um, is there a price point that we need to stay below? I mean, I hate to say this, but with inflation and with boats selling out a year in advance in some capacities, um, is there like, you know what, for a 6 night cruise, we're trying to be no more than $600, $700 for balcony rooms, $800 for balcony rooms, interior rooms, $400. What are we trying to stay towards? Because, and I hate to ask everybody this, but we're doing this for you guys, so I want to make sure it makes sense. Because if not, the most economical ones are going to be your 4 nights. They're going to go to the Bahamas, and that's all they're going to do, and they're going to be super affordable. If we want to go out and we want to go Eastern Caribbean, where we're getting out to St. Thomas, get out to Tortola. First of all, it's going to be 6 or 7 nights, and they're going to run
Seven
anywhere
night
from
easy. 7 night easy
yeah.
for that one.
It's
Like
it,
we did the Disney Fantasy doing the Eastern Caribbean, and we were this. It goes Saturday to Saturday. The Saturday night we left. Sunday and Monday are full days at sea. Tuesday we're in Tortola. It was Castaway. Then you're back in Port Canaveral on the Saturday.
so. Let me see. I'm trying to find out because I actually screenshotted um, some of the itineraries. Like for instance, all right. So there was an 8 night on Celebrity Cruises. An inside room was 934. Outside was 1,000. Balcony was 1,052. It went to San Juan, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas, St. Martin, Tortola, Puerto Plata, and then you were at sea a couple of days. So that's one of them. I'm gonna only pick the ones that were relevant. Like this was an MSC. Went to Puerto Plata, San Juan, St. Thomas. You're at sea a couple of days. Inside is 589. Outside is 699. Balcony is 869. And these are all rates from the other day, so they've probably changed a little bit. We had an 8 night that went to, and this is Royal, went to Labadee, Puerto Plata, St. Thomas, St. Croix, out to sea. 631, 711, and 953 for a balcony. And then last but not least that we looked at was a 7 night on Royal Caribbean. It went to Labadee, St. Thomas, and Perfect Day at Coco Cay. So you're only getting 3 islands. However, 7 nights. Interior is 686, outside is 890, balcony is 949. And again, those are rates from the other day. They change daily. Daily. Most of these ports leave from Port Canaveral. Some leave from Miami. Obviously, we would help you guys with whatever transportation. We're looking into transportation companies. Most of them run straight down to the port. But we would obviously give you guys some advice as to where to stay, how to stay. If we're doing Disney, we always say to everybody, stay on Disney property the night before. Why? Ground transportation will take you right to the port. But we would work with, different companies to get you guys down there. So, yeah, it's not bad, Jill. I mean, $1,000. I figured that was the cutoff on a 7, 8 night cruise, was right at that $1,000 mark. At least I'm trying to stay right there. So let's see. Good prices, good itineraries. Let's see. But that's kind of where we are. JG with the super sticker. Yo, yo, thank you. So that's what we're up against. Like, I'm looking at these different things so you guys can understand. There's different islands, different itineraries, different boats, different, and they all leave within, a couple of weeks of one another. So again, I can pick it. If you guys say, "Hey, Bear Shark, go ahead and just pick an itinerary that you think is going to jam." Good price. You guys figure it out. Jordan and I'll have it picked tonight. So that's why we wanted to do the show and ask some questions, see what you guys thought. Jordan, what did I miss?
Well, you have all your brain cells intact, which is good for now.
Not even close.
Dates are April, May next year.
Right now, everything that I just quoted was for April.
Yeah. So it's easy enough to. I mean, Dave and I talk about these cruises every day, trying to figure out the best one, the most cost effective. And there's times where we're spending hours trying to figure out the best options, locations, and whatnot to see what would be of interest, and then present it to everybody else. So we're
I think we pretty much have gotten what I expected tonight, which was 7 nights, no more. I didn't I even said to you it would have to leave on like a Saturday and come back on a Sunday at the latest. I don't think anybody's going to take more than that week because you still have travel time on both sides. So, and I get that. Michael, to answer your question, it depends. Like one of the boats I just looked at, my coach was telling me there's only 12 group rate rooms available left. So these boats are selling out, and that's actually the point. We want to get on, we want to get the best rates. So whatever these are, what would be considered double occupancy individual, rates. I would assume we would get something off of that. So those rates are subject to go down, I believe. So I will check into all that. I can't waste her time, so I wanted to make sure that I had it narrowed down and see how that goes. And I think you guys have done a good portion of that, 5 to 7 nights. 5 nights is not going to get us really where we're trying to go unless we go on the Disney Fantasy. I mean, if everybody says, "Hey, I'd rather go on a Disney cruise," okay, you're not gonna have to twist my arm to do it. It's just we're gonna spend a lot more than $1,000. I can tell you that right now. And that
absolutely.
and that's way more than $1,000 per person. You're going
Yeah.
to be looking at 1,700 probably to start, and go up from there. So it just depends on what you guys are looking for. I mean, some of them are $2,500 a person, but the Disney Dream, I know that it was kind of making that loop around that time. But I didn't want to. I don't want to separate the people who want to come because if Jen and I'm going to say this to you right now, if it wasn't a long cruise like 7 nights or whatever, and it was like one of the 3 or 4 nighters, I told Jen, I said, I don't care if it's an interior. Why? I'd rather get the rate. I'm not going to be in the room anyway. But if you're going to be at sea for 3 days, there's nothing like sitting on your balcony. I'm just going to tell you that. Like it's beautiful. Um, but the treasure at the moment, what we're looking at, just to answer Michael's thing, is I don't know how it's going to fall. Right now, we're seeing delay after delay after delay for them releasing the dates. Jordan and I have talked about when it drops. I still want to go in November of 2024.
I will be
Jordan's
100%.
definitely going, and
Yes.
I'm now whether it's November or December. Now the problem is I'm not sure that financially, I don't know what that's going to be. I mean, I don't know if the first sailings for the first 8 weeks are going to be triple what they're supposed to be. I just priced Icon for Bella's birthday, and I can tell you right now, I'm not doing it. Um, Bella's birthday for Icon, for all of us to go, I could go on a Disney cruise for the same price. I'm going to go on a Disney cruise every time over another boat for the same price. I'm just not going to do it. So Icon, I'll wait and I'll go the following year when the price dropped by 50%, and it did. So I'm just not. I'm not. I'm not sold that the treasure isn't going to be $2,800, $3,000 a person when it first comes out. It's a longer itinerary. It's running because we said it was what 7 nights, right?
7 nights. Yeah.
So if the wish came out of the box booking at almost $2,000, what's the treasure going to book for? Got to assume it's just based on days. It's more.
Yeah.
So
And the key times, again, cost wise, If you go around like the U.S. Thanksgiving, the price will be through the roof. So I'll give you an example. I looked at the Disney Wish originally around that time frame, like leading up to that Thanksgiving, and it was actually going to cost me more than double what I'm paying for my Wish cruise
Right.
from November 4th to November 8th.
Right.
Like it was nuts. And then same thing over Christmas time. You're always going to pay a substantial more amount of money at those times of the year.
What I'm seeing right now, because I'm looking at, like, for everybody, we're looking at doing something for my mother's birthday, the month of November, and my brothers could get off around Thanksgiving. So I said, well, let's just do Thanksgiving. The price is triple. Okay, between the exact same itinerary 2 weeks earlier, and then once you hit about the week and a half before Thanksgiving until January 1st, January 2nd, boarding days, the cruises are through the roof. They know they're Christmas cruises, especially with Disney. Disney just goes jacks it up. All the other boats know it too. It's expensive. So my concern for all you guys is, if the Treasure comes out November, December itineraries, is anybody going to book other than this guy? And I know why he's doing it, but at the end of the day, I don't know that I'm going to be able to drop $6,000 on one cruise. I don't know that I want to. And this was that Disney advantage we were talking about. If I'm not going to spend $5,200 on Icon, I'm not going to spend $6,000 on the Treasure. Especially when, if I wait 6 months and I wait for it to be April, and the price has dropped, and now I'm looking at $1,700 per person. That's a substantial difference. If I could save $1,500, that's a big deal. Because the other thing is, I don't have a double occupancy room. I have triple. So I'm picking up that extra expense with Bella. And that's my issue. But I don't want to. I don't want to rob the explorers of the experience. If you guys sat there and said, "Don't care, let's go on a cheaper cruise in April so that we can go on the Treasure in," I'm down. You guys just have to tell us what it is that you're looking for. So that's kind of where we're at with it. It's like, we're definitely going on a cruise in April. If 5 cabins sell or 50 cabins sell, I don't care. I just want us to go all hang out and have fun. And to me, I wanted to keep the cruise reasonably inexpensive. My goal for this one was to have some rooms that were at the 3 to 4 to 500 range, so that anybody who wanted to go sat there and said, you know what, for a 5 or 6 night, I could do that. Or for 4 or 5 nights, I could do that. So Jordan doesn't have a choice. He's coming in April. He's not allowed to say no. And I'm going to open him up to non-Disney boats. And this is his first non-Disney cruise. It's an FPE meetup. If he's not there, he's a partner channel. He doesn't get to say no. Once in, baby, never out.
Oh, fantastic.
So you're the only one that's ever seen the Explorer Sopranos thing that I made.
Yes.
But they would get that joke if they ever saw it. So,
Yes. Yeah. But see, I guess when it comes to the cruises that I'm doing, I guess what a lot of everyone doesn't realize is that I have substantial discounts. So it makes it more feasible to like book a Dano. So for example, when I booked the Disney Wish cruise for next year, I'll be honest and tell everybody, I spent just over $1,000 for 4 nights and 5 days.
and you guys wonder why I hate him. So, but that's the thing is Jordan's had some experiences and some things with DCL, and he's gotten the better end of it. But to kind of put, because JT asked, so here's the thing. We're talking about the Treasure in November of 2024, and we probably should state that, because the November cruise that I'm looking at is with my family on that's this year, 2023. But the
But at the end of the day,
Treasure,
we're all family.
I think my mother would probably have something to say about that.
Oh yeah, well yeah, we definitely don't want to cross your
Just
mama.
saying. My mom
Yeah.
would just be like, yeah, no, that's not happening. Personally, I think it would be hysterical to have 500 people join us for Thanksgiving dinner. That would be kind of neat. But yeah, it's the Treasure 2024. My biggest issue, JT, and to everybody who's thinking about it, I'm concerned it's going to be an absolute, like, you're going to have to cut off both arms to go. And that's my only concern. If we go in April and make that the next FPE 2025, April 2025, um,
I'll
I
do that one
think
too.
you'll be there. I know you will be. Uh, I think that the rate will be less based on everything that I'm seeing. Like Icon just came out, and the prices or the bookings and everything are through the roof. The further you go out with Icon into next year, the better they get. Boat's not sold out. There's availability, so I'm just worried about it. That doesn't mean that when we know it's coming, we're not going to offer it to you guys. Why? Because if this crazy guy goes on the boat, he's going to push me until I say yes. Um, and that's if I can. I mean, and it's just like everybody else in this world. We have the same financial issues. He got a great deal. I'm not getting Jordan's deal. If I had Jordan's deal, they'd have to pull me off the boat.
Yeah.
So
So I guess in perspective, and again, I'll share it. So when I do book the Disney Treasure, I'll actually get 80% off the cruise.
anybody else want me to take him off the stream? So, but that's my point though, is Jordan's getting a ridiculous deal. And so he can say, you know what, I'm going on it. It doesn't matter. Why? He's getting better than travel agency rates. His rate is incredible. So those things matter. Um, but it's uh,
I'm all blurry now.
yeah. Why are you blurry?
I don't know.
So, but and that's it though. It's like we have to have things that other people um, that can come join us. I don't want to have anybody feel like they've been excluded because it's too much money or it's too short of a trip. Um, Having done the Wish versus the Dream, no, wrong one, Magic. Doing the Magic was a blast. It was so much fun. 5 days was great, or 5 nights was great. I enjoyed every minute of it. We do the Wish this time, it's 3 nights. I can already tell you it's not long enough. I mean, we worked like 7,000 hours last week. Like I'm burnt out. Like I'm ready to go sit on the, but there's no time. It's Nassau, which would be nice because I only have to live stream one day, for an hour or so there. We're only going to live stream the first night for the sail away party and do some live shopping. And then we're going to stream the next day. I'm going to show everybody the entire boat since I couldn't walk it last time. I never showed the boat. I never recorded any footage. Um, Belle and Jen are going to take the GoPro on the Aquamouse, which will be cool. And then we're going to live stream from Castaway for a little bit. But other than that, I'm sleeping.
Jill's kind of getting a little aggressive here. She wants to
Uh-oh.
throttle me.
Uh-oh. You're getting throttled.
Yeah. And then JT says, actually, no, I don't have any dirt on anybody.
You have tons of dirt on people. I've seen the way that they bow down to you at Disney. got
No,
Michael Eisner in your back pocket.
Yeah. No, it's definitely no dirt, but it's a longer story than what we have time for.
Agreed. But that's the thing, everybody, is with what's coming. We have the December meetup, then we have an April meetup, and then we're going to kick in, and do the next one. And that's the question: is are we looking at doing it in November, or do we just wait till December and do the ground one back here, or do we do a Halloween party since we did Christmas this year? So it might be an October meetup, so that this way we can go to a Halloween party together, which might be what happens. And then the FP meetup would be on the Treasure in 2025, which would save everybody money. So I'm cost conscious for you guys. Like I don't want it to be like these astronomical things. I want to put them out far enough so that we can still do meetups, but we're going to be planning into 2025 so that you guys can prepare. I mean, as I've said to everybody, I understand there's an added expense of flying in hotels for every time you guys book a cruise. I don't have that. So I do sympathize, understand, and sit there and say, hey, you know what? We have to allow people to save, plan. The best part about cruises is you can make payments. You put down your down payment, and then you make monthly payments. It's paid for before you go. So it's really a good way of doing it. And then Heather and a couple other people were like, you can do onboard credits. You can continue to pay onto the boat, and then you have some onboard credit as well. So this way, when you go, you have money to spend. That's a
Yeah.
great thing. Like, I didn't even think about that. And then on this trip, we made sure that we did something like that because we got such a good deal on it. So it'll be a lot of fun. We'll be able to use our discount to 2025. I don't know the answer to that, but I will find out. I'm
Sorry, what
actually
was the question?
the the discount that we got on the Wish was for, I think it was 24 months.
Yeah, so it's good up until May 1st of 2025.
So we
So
should be
as long as the ship itself departs no later than May the 1st, of 2025, you can use your discount.
May the 4th
But
be
if
with you.
but May 2nd, no deal, you lose.
So that's the thing is, so knowing the fact that I got cruisers and I know what dates we went on the 28th, so I know where we are. Um, I'm going to make sure that we can still do those things. And of course, like I said, when I talk to my DCL coach and everybody else, we're going to be making sure that we're on point. Like it's not going to be a guessing game like it was last time. We didn't have any leadership until he jumped in. Um, this time it's going to be led by the two of us, and everything that we book for meetups, they'll be done right. Like, we're not leaving this to chance. So it's basically it should be pretty good. It's not going to be that much of an issue, so we're going to have fun with it.
Yeah.
I don't know
I want
anything
to
about.
answer Christy's question really quickly.
Go
So,
ahead.
not all cruise ships actually go to their island. So, it just depends on on what the itineraries are. So, for example, Disney Wonder over the summertime, it does Alaska. So it's never going to go during that time frame going over to Castaway. Same thing with other cruise ships as well too, because I think you and I were looking into it. Even with Royal Caribbean, not all their cruise ships
Yeah.
go to a Perfect Day at Coco Cay.
Right.
So it all depends on that itinerary that identifies if they're going to go to their private island or not.
Well, and that's a good point, because when we were sitting there, you and I were looking at two Royal Caribbeans. One goes to the island, the other one doesn't. And so Perfect Day at Coco Cay, they sell it as an additive. It's not a given. So they try and make it so that they can charge a little bit more for Perfect Day at Coco Cay. But if you think about it, in all actuality, it should be a discount because you're going to their island and spending the money. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway.
And we have Michelle Elizabeth
Yes.
is going to come on the Treasure Cruise.
There's going to be, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of first timers. And let me tell you something. If you have the ability, I was thinking, and again, you guys are going to know when we're doing stuff. The only time you're not going to be doing an FPE meetup with us will be like September, because it's our anniversary. So I don't think Jen would be too happy with me. But
No.
If we do one of these MSCs and they're like, or if you live West Coast and you need to do one out there, we'll find you like a 3-nighter. And like, I'm going on an MSC that's $269, and this is a balcony room, by the way. This is for a balcony. It's $269. I say go on one. Why? A, get your sea legs. Is it for you? Do you not like the heights? Do you not like the boat? Do you not like... Or you're going to walk on and go, you can't drag me off of this thing, which is what happened to me. They're amazing. They're so much fun. I cannot even begin to tell you. Hold on, I just saw something with my name. Dave, I hate to ask, but can you compare 5 days on the Wish, 5 days at Disney World? Price difference. That is a supremely, supremely loaded question, and I'll tell you why. When you're on a cruise ship, there's pretty much 4 levels. You have an interior, you have an ocean view, which gives you a portal or a window, a balcony, and then you can go up to like suites or concierge. But everything's included for the most part. Okay, there's excursions, there's some drinks, there's you can go on some, but for the most part, if you take the itinerary as it sits and you just go with it, you could spend $0 if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Going to Disney World, there are an infinite number of possibilities. Are you staying on property, off property? If you're staying on property, well, or which level of resort are you staying at? Are you getting a dining plan? Are you eating, just a la carte? How many people? Like, there's so many things that go into a Disney World vacation. And I hate to be evasive, but it would be unfair for me to say that because even your tickets are different. Are you going to the park every day? Do you want hoppers? Are you going to do anything inside the parks? Are you going to do I could sit here and talk about 5 days at Disney World and give you 500 different experiences. It's not hard. Would I say they're comparable? It also depends upon what boat you're going on. I mean, they could be comparable. In other words, if you said, I have X budget and I want to either go on a Disney cruise or go to Disney World, give me a comparison. I could make them work. I could make them match. So you could do that. It's just, what are the things that make Disney Disney for you? And I think that next week, I think we should be talking about, maybe that's a great topic for next week.
Mm-hmm.
Land versus sea. What are the differences? I've been saying I wanted a good question. Marie just dropped in a great question
That's
for,
fantastic.
us to actually deep dive. And I think next week, Marie, we're probably going to make that the topic of the show. Is what are the cost differences? What's included versus not included? And that would be cool to do that. So I think we're going to dive into that next week, and I'll read your email and go through that. But there's so many things that go into this when you're planning your vacation. To be
Yeah.
perfectly frank with you, at least in my opinion, um, I believe vacationing is very personal. I don't believe it's cookie cutter. It's half the reason, frankly, I'm battling as a travel agent. Um, I don't think I'm a good travel agent. Why? Because I ask questions apparently nobody asks. And you're not supposed to ask, I guess. I don't know. I think it's stupid not to, though. We're not talking about going and sitting on a beach in South Carolina. We're talking about going to Disney World. There's a bunch of things to do. So, in my opinion, if I don't ask questions like, what what are the goals? Like, what do you want to do? What are the things you have to do while you're at Disney World? I know for me that if I were coming here, there are things I have to do. Like, I have to do them. So my itinerary would be more based around that than not. What about when you come? Are there things that you have to do?
For me, for me.
No, the guy next to you.
Oh, shit, that's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Wait, I
so
already
when I
answered that.
planned it, yeah, I talked to Patrick, right? So, he and I, so my son Patrick, we always plan out
Uh
what we want to do when we're on the trip. So I'm blurry again. Um, but whether we want to go to a park or if it's a character dining, like when we were there last time, we got there on the Wednesday. We ate at Wolfgang Puck's at Springs,
yeah.
right? So and then the Thursday we went to Animal Kingdom. We went to Boma for dinner. Never went there before. Met up with you guys at Magic Kingdom. We did the cruise, and then we had some other things that were planned for the week after. So it's more so tailoring it to what you want to do on the adventure. Ooh, fig pin.
Jordan,
Ooh,
his Hatbox Ghost. Ooh. But that's the thing is like if I were rolling into town, um, my first thing is I've got to see the castle first. Done. Like my
yeah.
first day in the park is Magic Kingdom. I want to see the castle. Once now, not living here, like if I were to walk in the park, I'd be like, boom, okay, I saw the castle. Let me go down. I want ice cream. and I'm going to stand in line. I'm going to get my ice cream. I'm going to go sit and I'm going to watch cavalcades go by. I'm going to watch, Friendship Fair. I'm going to watch the things that are right there and drink in and get that Disney. That's the first thing I have to do. Inside the park, got to do Pirates. Got to do People Mover. Got to do Speedway. Now I would
Space
say
Mountain, Seven Dwarfs.
Seven Dwarfs. I usually do at the end of the night. I usually try and grab that as the last ride. Haunted Mansion's up there. If Peter Pan's available, cool. But like there are things like okay, I got to do. Same with Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios is not a daytime park for me. Like it kind of is. Like it's an early afternoon park. Early afternoon all the way in the evening, and I have the things that I have to do there. Same goes for Epcot. Epcot is not a daytime park for me. It's an afternoon and evening. Animal Kingdom is a daytime only park. So you could time those things. Same with Disney Springs. There's things I want to accomplish. All of those things depend upon what your trigger buttons are, your triggers are. If you got things that you have to do, you got to do that. So, Joe, it depends. We're working on trying to do room tours. I'm finding out from my coach how I do that. So we're going to hopefully be adding that to it. And we're going to be adding Universal resort tours as well. So we can give you guys all the information if you're coming down to the area. A couple of hotels that I've contacted to see whether or not they want to talk to us. So far, they've all pretty much blown me off. So when it comes to booking them, I will go elsewhere.
Yeah, and Dave, if you want as well too, I can always if I haven't sent it yet, I do have that Disney Wish room tour of the stateroom that I was in November of last year.
So we can always show that next week too, and do a bunch of things where we're putting together some videos for you guys, and that's what we want to do. For me, see, like Kathleen, Dole Whip is always a must too. Like those are on there. So food for me is how I experience the park. Durr. Same with the cruises. Like this time on the cruise,
barbecue.
Oh God, I'm gonna kill that place.
Sorry for introducing you to that place.
do you understand? Like I'm walking on the boat, they're gonna be like, and now introducing Florida Park Explorers. I'm gonna walk on the boat and be like, boop doop 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 doop. And they're gonna be like, do you want a picture? Do 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 do. Next picture, Mickey's barbecue bone in mouth. I plan on trying to find out, is there a world record for how many times you go to Mickey's barbecue in a 3-day period? And if so, can I beat it?
I lost track of how many times you and I went that one day. Yeah. Jen's not watching.
Look, if anybody, if there was actually like a camera, well, there was a camera on me, but if there was a camera on me and they watched me leave the coffee place and walk out, hit the barbecue place, eat in line while getting a chicken finger plate, and then eat that in line while I was waiting for an ice cream, all while walking to my cabin so that we could get ready to go to dinner.
That would be the perfect meet yourself ad.
But do you know how bad that sounds? Like, it's really bad. It's like, so what did you do? Well, I left Jordan's. I tried to get a coffee, couldn't get a coffee. So I stopped and I had 2 barbecue ribs, 2 chicken fingers, and an ice cream cone on the way to my room. What'd you do? Got ready and went to dinner.
That's actually true.
I would ask which day or meal. It wasn't once. I can tell you that because it wasn't like I had this epiphany on the last day. I'm like, oh, what? I walk past it every time going, I feel like I'm running out of power. I probably should have something to eat. HM's in the house. By the way, speaking of somebody who's got the power, I really want to take her dance off and set it to, I got the power. Anyway, but yeah, this time is going to be a little bit different. I'm going after, because Dave's on a health kick, as most people know. I've completed some of the 5Ks. I got my last one's going to be on the Wish. I'm eating better. I'm doing all the things you're supposed to do. So this time on the Wish, I'm going to do something a little different. HM, I can't help it. You know this. Uh,
Rex at Mickey's Barbecue.
could you imagine if I showed up in a T-Rex suit and said, "Yes, I'll take all the ribs you have"?
You
Um,
should.
but I'm going to be eating a ton of protein. I'm going to try and avoid most of the carbs, except for at dinner when I go absolutely ape, and because I'm going to kill the dinner menu. But when I order all the desserts, I'm only going to try them. I'm not going to try to finish them. I hope.
And sunken treasures to go with that daily diet.
Um, I don't know. I
Or
it
Malibu and pineapple.
it depends. Like my state of relaxation. See, I don't have the kind of time like I had on the Magic, so I got to kind of make the most of it. See, barbecue is protein. That's the point. So if I go and if I hit like ribs every couple hours. All right, who am I lying? Who am I kidding? How about a couple ribs every hour? If I do that and I'm just sitting there and I'm chilling out and I'm going to go find the fruit. I'm going to go find some salads. I'm going to go do that stuff during the day. At night, I'm going to kill it, and we're going to kind of go from there. But I don't want to miss anything on the Wish this time. I feel like I missed out last time, and it was my own fault. So this time, with having the family there, this one's kind of it's a working relaxation trip. So I want to make sure that I get everything documented. I want to make sure that I've done what I was supposed to do on this time. I really need to know the boat inside and out. I felt like after the trip that I didn't see the boat. And judging by talking to
Yeah.
you, I didn't.
No, there's a lot.
I never made it to the Star Wars bar.
Well, you will in 16 days.
I may not leave there. Hey,
See,
live from the Hyper Lounge. And it shows me like this, out cold. Just done.
that's because you just finished having the $5,000 drink.
Across the bottom, it says Greedo shot first. That would be wear a Han Solo shirt, just be like this.
No, you got to wear that one shirt that you ordered.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yes.
It won't be here in time for the boat.
Ah, shucks.
It will be for the next time, but that's going to be hysterical.
Yeah. And actually, really quickly, as we're talking about cruises, so if you do go, actually, and even starting this Saturday on the Disney Fantasy, you can actually start getting they call the Disney Band Pluses.
Yes, mine are on
You
my
can also
way.
get on the Wish. Yes. Here's the kicker. So you can order them within 11 to 45 days prior to cruise if you want them personalized and to get the $10 off discount if you're in the US.
Sorry, Tuttle put in. This is not the bear shark you were looking for.
Um, yeah, so if in the US, you can get them shipped to your home. If you are international, you've got options. Either A, send them to Dave.
Use your travel agent, and I'll send them to you.
Another option that I was advised by DCL is that you could have it shipped right to a Disney resort that you're staying at prior to. But
So to save $10 on that Magic Band, make sure you book that $400 room the night before.
yeah, it's true.
Sorry, couldn't help it.
Yeah, but if you are getting it sent to a Disney resort, you have to make sure that you pop into the good old My Disney Experience app and use the chat service to let them know, or call them to have it to make sure they have a note on file. So when you do get there, they know they have those for you.
So it's funny because I spent an hour and a half on the phone with DCL about this exact topic the other day during one of our live streams. And what I found out was it's very difficult to deal with DCL with Magic Band Pluses right now. They're not set up for it correctly because I couldn't buy it through my app. If you're having an issue with it, contact DCL. They have to make an adjustment on your My Disney Experience app so that you can buy it. It'll send you in a death loop. You click on the button to buy it, it sends you to the thing, it shows your Magic Band Pluses. People are missing, and then when you hit the button, it takes you back to the beginning. If you get stuck in that, contact DCL. Don't sit there and be like, what am I doing wrong? You didn't do anything. They're having issues. Having said that, you also can't buy them through DCL. You have to buy it through Navigator at the moment. So what's even funnier is they told me I couldn't get it on the boat, which is not true because you can get it on the boat, but you pay full price.
And you can't get them personalized.
And you can't get them personalized. So it's a whole thing, and it's like it just doesn't make any sense to me. But the 3 Magic Bands that are Disney Band Pluses, because they, by the way, they're Magic Bands. Let me just say this right now. They call them Disney Band Pluses because the two entities are two different functioning corporations, but they're the same thing. And there's a story with that. But Disney Band Pluses, when we pulled up our account, Jen's Magic Band and Bella's Magic Band Plus both showed up. I don't have a Magic Band Plus. Well, now I do. But I'm getting rid of the one that I have, and I'm replacing it with DCL Magic Bands. Oh, Dave has a Magic Band Plus? Yeah, I got it from Character Warehouse. Looks a lot like...
Please stand by.
That guy. Which is ironic, because I just talked about Greedo. So...
This is true.
But I didn't care if then I realized how much I paid for it, and I was like, I could get another Magic Band from DCL. I'd rather have that one. But I might keep it. I don't know. This one, if I lost it, I wouldn't be heartbroken. If I lost a DCL Magic Band playing in the water, I would be upset because they're beautiful.
Yeah, it'd be nice when they start releasing more of the Disney Band Pluses, because right now they just have the 3.
Technically, there's 3.
Technically, yeah. I mean, you can definitely use any of your Magic Band Pluses, but yeah, they have their 3 designs right now, but it's always constantly changing.
Well, next week, what I'll do is when we're talking about the comparisons, we'll go in, I'll screen share it from My Disney Experience and show the actual bands that are available currently. Mm-hmm. Because there are a bunch, but they're Magic Bands. So there's only 3 Disney Band Pluses, but they give you a really good tour of them. So we'll do that next week, and we'll show that off. But I think we pretty much have gone through everything tonight. I think everybody's given us a lot to work with. So unless you guys object, I'm gonna go pick a cruise for the April trip, and I've got the criteria I think that I need, which is 5 to 7, not more than $1,000 for balcony. That is, and we're doing Eastern Caribbean. Doesn't matter if it has the island. If it does, great. If it doesn't, that's not a deal breaker, and that's where we are. So, Jordan, what do you got going on? Anything?
Working on. Well, I don't want to give anything away. It's coming.
Then don't.
It's a surprise that I will share with the Bear Shark first. Oh boy!
So this didn't come up, but hold on a second. I don't know why it didn't come up. Stream Elements is probably sitting at the Hyper Lounge bar getting ready for me.
No, it came up. I see it.
I don't see it.
Well, I have the live stream up on YouTube, plus I have ours on.
Yeah, but I have to see it, because if not, I can't put it up, man. Thank you, Andy. What were we talking about?
Oh, I have a surprise coming. I'll share it with you first.
No, don't tell anybody. Shh.
Oh, I'll share it with you first.
Okay.
And then
yes,
I'll share it with everyone else.
Sounds good. So one of the other things is we have new partner channels. He's one of them. Another one is in this very chat. His name is Mike Wheeler. The other one, he's on air right now. Sam will be 12 Experience. He's probably off the air by now because he doesn't run late. I do, but he doesn't. We're supposed to go on an hour show, and we're at an hour and 40 minutes. I don't know how to tell time. Magic Bands apparently aren't watches. Who knew? So with that, we have new folks. Definitely go check them out. Go check out their channels. We have Jordan's Disney Adventures, Mike Wheeler, Sam will be 12. Great friends, great community members, great partner channels, great content. We all have the same philosophy and belief, so you're going to be able to go over there and take a look at things from their perspective. but still keeping you in a very great Disney environment. So make sure you check
Yeah.
out these folks. Sam does Disney from time to time, but at the end of the day, he's family first, which is what we look forward to. We want people who are trying to create a community much like ours, so that we can create a ginormous community for all of you, so that your content is good, clean, fun ish.
Yeah. And actually posted a short today.
I have so many things that I want to say about that, but I won't. Um, yeah, it's bad. You should,
Yeah.
yeah, I need to go on a cruise.
Now, JC has a comment up a little bit further. I did see it. So she said, so JC, so as you discussed, trying to tailor to everyone's needs, that's going to be incredibly difficult with a group of 30, 40, 50. Ultimately, you are going to have to pick the date, number of days, etc.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt, JC. Here's the good news about me, and a lot of you don't. Like some of you know me, not all of you do. I have no problem picking this, like zero. Uh, Pulling the trigger is probably one of my favorite things to do. It's just without having the data from the people who want to go, I don't want it to seem like I just picked what I wanted. It's not a Dave cruise, it's an FPE cruise. So it's more just feedback right now. Jordan, and as I said, Jordan and I are literally going to get offline. We're going to go pick one. Then I got to run it through my coach so that I get the appropriate rate so I don't screw up. But other than that, the one of them I already have a group rate on, and it's the Oasis of the Sea on April 7th. I just have to verify that I'm right, because my price and what she sent me, they don't match. So, which is not untypical. She's right. I'm wrong. I just don't know what it means. So having that's not an issue. Like I have no problem doing it. And by the way, here's the best part. If I get it wrong, I'm still going. So
It's
come
true,
hang
you are.
out. Yeah, I'm going. Like if we sell one room and it's mine, I'm still going. Why? Because once we make that commitment, we're going. So we just want you guys to have fun, though. That's the biggest thing. Is I want it to be, I want it to be fun. I want it to have daily adventures for us to go and have a great time. I don't want it to be like it was last time, where I felt like I hadn't planned it, because guess what? We hadn't planned it, so it was really simple. But this go around will be a little bit different, and I have people around me, and you don't have to be the best at what you do. You just put the best people around you, and that's what we've effectively done. So speaking of the best people around us, Jordan will be helping me with that. My coach will be helping me with that, and then when it comes to the other things on FPE, we have Jesse now. We have Heidi helping us. Monorail Steve. We have DDM. Everybody's jumping in to help us grow as we're doing this. It means the world to us, guys. It really does. We appreciate everything that you guys are doing to help us grow as a community, as a small business. We are a small business, and we appreciate that. There's going to be some things that are going to change next week a little bit, just some tweaks, so that we can help things function a little bit better. If you need any additional information, it's scrolling across the screen right now. For more information, fpentravel@gmail.com. Go to floridaparkexplorers.com. You can reach out to us in so many different ways. Coming up tomorrow, we didn't even get to this today, which was the last thing on my list. Tomorrow is the beginning of Food and Wine, longest festival on earth. Don't worry, if you're coming in the next 8 months, you can't miss it. Cool merch, though. So we're going to be showing that tomorrow. Jesse and Jen will be there at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, rope dropping the park, getting us in, getting us to the new merch. The new merch is actually really cool. There's a couple of things I can't wait to get. Yes, I have turned out to be one of the better shoppers. Who knew? I married one. Who knew? But anyway, so Food and Wine starting tomorrow. Can't wait to see it. We're going to obviously do some food reviews. We'll do some of that, not necessarily tomorrow. Tomorrow's mostly about merch. And then we are at Character Warehouse Friday morning. I can hear the water pageant. How is that possible? Can't be. It's 8:15.
It's 20 after 9.
That's what I said.
No, you said 8:50.
Nah, you misheard me. So it's got to be something. But anyway, so Friday we'll be back at Character Warehouse. We have a little bit of a surprise for you guys on Friday. We're also going back to City Walk. So we've got something else kind of in the works. If it works out, where we may have a surprise that would be kind of fun to do. But we are definitely going back to City Walk to finish out what we started last night, which was epic. And we want to thank you guys again for that because it was crazy. So other than that, everybody, we're going to go into the weekend. We're going to have some fun. We're going to get ready for next week. And who knows? Yeah, it was insane, Heidi. It was nuts. The whole thing was crazy. But anyway.
Jen, rope drop from Hertz drop.
Let me tell you, she's geared up for it. She's excited. She's going to be there at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, Kathleen. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a line or, like once she gets in, if she gets to connections, not connections, wrong store, creations. Like they did, last year she pretty much walked right in, but you just never know. But 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Jen will be back at it, killing it all day. It'll be her and Jesse. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We hope that you guys have enjoyed everything we've done so far. If you have any suggestions, always let us know. We try to accommodate the best we can, but at the end of the day, we got to go where the masses tell us they want us to go. We always tell you guys it's what you want. The you is a plural, just so I say that out loud. Because as JC said, when you're dealing with 30 or 40 people, it's hard to please everybody and to get it exactly right. We do it with a couple of thousand. So we appreciate your guys' support literally with everything that we do. It's so much fun to do this stuff for you guys, and we're looking forward to the expansions and that stuff.
Yeah. And I would say, if you have any cruise questions, send them to the FPE and travel at gmail.com. And that way we can add that in and we can answer those questions for you.
Or don't.
Or don't. That's another thing too. Well, if I have a little bit, so I got my, my Mickey glass. And if it has a little bit, so then this side here says mad about Mickey. So if I do have a little bit too many cocktails, we're going the wrong way.
See? Too many cocktails, you went the wrong way.
Yeah, wrong way. Too many cocktails, right. Well, it was absolute vanilla vodka and Pepsi, so it's not bad.
Oh, there's the fireworks. Must be 9:21. I got that time right. All I have to do is hear the first firework. I'm like, 9:21. I don't even have to look. So anyway. But yes, as Jen put on the screen, or I put it on the screen for Jen, get your wish list in for Food and Wine, Character Warehouse, Universal, and Disney Wish. Keep in mind, everybody, and this is something that never gets said on the other stream, and I've got people here for a second, so I'm going to say it now. If you're on the list, you go first. Just telling you. So if Jen walks in the store and he's an extra large in something, and there's one of them, the person who sent it in via email, they were first. So they get it first. So does
that mean for the Disney Wish I'm last?
You had it in before I booked the cruise.
That's actually true. I did.
So the advantage of Jordan being on the phone while I was booking it was he sent me an email while I was talking to him, and he's like, "I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this." Get your lists in first because that's the way you get your merch guaranteed. Because if it's there, cool. You're the first person. It's how it is. If you took the time, you went in and researched, and you know what you want. Let us know. Send us a picture and a size. We'll pick it up. Then it goes by order in the chat. And then we're going to be going over some of those things next week as we begin the shopping week next week, because we want to make sure everybody's happy. And there's going to be a couple of changes coming so that things run a little bit more efficiently, a little bit more fairly, I guess is a good word. But with that, it's late. I'm ready to go eat some protein.
Yeah, you got to meet yourself.
More than once. So, yeah, Marie, literally, if you were to look outside my window right now, the fireworks are going off. You can actually see the top of Cinderella Castle. So we are that close. And what's really funny is we're close enough that you guys can hear it through a wall, through another wall, into my microphone, and onto the stream. So that boom, boom is fireworks. Sam, I just got your text message. We're literally wrapping up, dude, because if you come in, we're not getting out of here till like midnight. And I know how you do things.
We're Canadians. We love to talk.
Such a bad influence. It's like I got 2 Canadian partners and I got 2 Floridians down here. It's like it should almost be like a mismatched mini golf tournament. Anyway, so until next week, everybody, where we will be deep diving into Marie's question about parks versus cruises. I think it's a great question. I think it's a great topic. Can't wait to dive into that. We'll also do. I'll get Jordan's Disney Wish Tour up unloaded, and we'll go over some Disney Magic Bands, and we will have. We'll be talking about the cruise that we are booking for April because tonight Jordan and I are going to go pick it. And with that, I think we've done enough damage tonight. What about you?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, if we didn't scar people, we didn't do our job. So next time we're gonna have Sam get off a little bit sooner and come in and hang out with us, so that this way we can have some fun and some laughs. Because yeah, okay, alrighty. And with that, everybody, we'll see you guys next week. Join us tomorrow morning from Food and Wine. I am the Bear Shark, affectionately known as the Bear Shark, and this is Jordan's Disney Adventure, affectionately known as JJ. We're trying to get that name to stick. Everybody, help me out.
Well, nobody knows the true meaning behind it but you and Jen.
It should be GJ, but JJ just rings so much faster. Good night, everybody.
And we'll see you, Lido.
We'll see you, Lido. I love that. Love it.
Yes. Good night, everybody.